All right, so I had to wait a little bit to pick mine up, but I just grabbed my Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom limited edition Nintendo Switch OLED model. It's a lot of words that go into describing what this is, but this is really exciting because this is the first actual special edition system that we have gotten for Legend of Zelda. They have done some other themed stuff. We got a pair of Joy-Cons for Skyward Sword, which were very beautiful. I love the look of those ones, but this is the actual first full-blown system. Breath of the Wild was just a little too early in the life cycle, being a launch title for the original Switch, and now for Tears of the Kingdom, 7 years later, here we are with a special edition system. So let's just start by opening it up, and then I got some thoughts, some of the stuff about this I want to talk about, but let's dive in. What I do like about the OLED boxes is they're very simple. It's a pretty straightforward unboxing. Yeah, there's the system. Let's start with the Joy-Cons. So we've got a pair of them, obviously, Joy-Cons. The main aesthetic they're going for on this one is they're leaning heavy into the gold again, which is pretty normal for a lot of Zelda Special Editions, but the difference here is the accent colors. A lot of Zelda Special Editions tend to be black and gold. Those are the two main colors they go for. You can look back at a lot of past editions and those are the main colors. Here, we're leaning into a gold with white and green trim going on. So for the Joy-Cons, for instance, we've got green on the left Joy-Con. Yes, left. We have green on the left Joy-Con, white on the right Joy-Con, featuring the kind of pattern on the green one that's been the, I don't know how to describe it, the weird technological, sciencey magic vibe stuff that's going on with some of the technology in Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, and the weird stuff going on with Link's arm. On the right side, we have more of that kind of circle pattern that was featured a lot in Breath of the Wild. And there's actually a little bit of detailing on the back of these as well. There's a little symbol on the back there with a white back, and then some symbols on the front that I'm actually not sure what this is in reference to. Little gold prints on there. Let's take a look at the main system body. This is the thing where, this is my ongoing battle with every Switch Special Edition, is that I love a lot of stuff they've done with Joy-Cons. There are a couple of docks that I really like the design of. And once again, we have a main system body where I just feel like just something a little extra could have maybe happened. This is once again a pattern where they're relying more on just having two different shades of dark black and gray to create a pattern on the back. It's again that swirly pattern similar to what we're seeing on the right Joy-Con. It's a little plain in comparison to everything else going on the Joy-Cons and what we'll see on the dock in a little bit. And also one of the things that happens with OLED editions is that you do have a bit of a division going on with where the kickstand is, though it is better than what a lot of older Switches had where you just had a regular black kickstand just kind of clashing with the rest of the design. While there's a little interruption line right here, overall the way it comes together still looks really clean. Just, I wish they would embrace a little more color on main bodies. We saw that a little bit with the Scarlet and Violet Nintendo Switch. It would have been nice to see that on here too. Oh, actually, before we do the dock, I always forget. The wrist straps for the Joy-Cons that I totally always use for safety reasons, because that's important, and I never forget that I have them. White color on both of them to match with a bit of the aesthetic going on with the Joy-Cons, although the more defining feature here is that the wrist strap itself does have this gold look going on. There's a little bit of specks of white mixed in there too, but gold is the focused color for them. Now, the dock. Here we have our Zelda Switch OLED style dock. So similar to how we've been seeing a lot of the other OLED model special editions work out, we actually have kind of a front plate going on. It's a different texture from the rest of the body. It's a little less of a matte finish and has almost a, I guess satin would be the word, and it's got that smoother kind of finish, but not quite glossy where it's super reflective. For this particular design, we are once again leaning into white and gold as the focus, although it's a little hard to see actually in some of the pictures. I didn't realize that you have some off-white detailing going on right here as well, which has these little statue figureheads going on. The back of the dock, by the way, does have just a little bit of accenting as well, nothing super fancy, but just adds a little bit of gold that pops on the back, so I do like that. Everything else in the box is cables, fun stuff. I think we have a Joy-Con grip that's just a simple black. I'll double check that real quick, actually. Yes, Joy-Con grip, just a standard black one, so nothing special going on there. And let's go ahead and put this all together. So I do like they get that white and black. The little square of gold here is actually a nice little touch. It just gives a bit more life, I think, to the back of the system. And then the front, Obviously, gold is the main focus going on, which looks really clean. And then we'll just put this in the dock. And yeah, you only get a tiny bit of green really on that left Joy-Con. The rest of this is really focused on the white and the gold, which is something very different from a lot of other Zelda Special Editions that we've seen. Historically, when you look at Zelda Special Editions, there's been a pretty heavy recurring theme. There's variety inside of it, but generally speaking, black and gold is the approach. Sometimes you lean a little heavier on the gold aspect of things, sometimes you lean heavier on the black with just a little bit of gold trim, but that really has been the standard. I mean, you look at the Wii U, which had just a gold trim on the Wii U gamepad itself for Wind Waker. You look at the 3DS, which had, geez, I think like 4 different Legend of Zelda Special Editions, which the 2DS one actually did have a more interesting design that was a Hylian shield look, so that was a nice change of pace. But you look at the other ones, and it's once again either gold with the Triforce, or doing a black and gold kind of aesthetic like the original 3DS Special Edition one had. And so it's really interesting to see this very different approach, and honestly one that I did not see coming at all. I actually did a video years ago when the channel was first really starting to grow for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and what I could have seen a special edition system for that look like. And at the time, we leaned really heavy into the light blue aesthetic because that was the, champion's tunic that Link is wearing. That's a color that ends up popping up in a lot of the kind of associated advertising materials and that kind of thing. And so I really thought that, if we were gonna get a special edition system for Tears of the Kingdom, which obviously we did, I'm very surprised we didn't see that light blue aesthetic end up playing any kind of role here, but it's nice to see that they didn't just fall back on, again, that kind of regular black and gold look. The white and gold, I think, is a much cleaner look that I'm really liking. The dock in particular, I think, is actually my favorite thing in this whole set, by the way. The Joy-Cons look great. I like the little bit of green on the left Joy-Con, but the dock here, I think for me, out of the kind of 3 main components, is my absolute favorite out of the whole group. Now, it's worth noting that this is not the only thing that Nintendo's releasing as part of celebrating the release of Tears of the Kingdom. Obviously, the game itself has a special edition system coming out on launch date, but there are a couple other accessories that have gone up as well, including a Pro Controller and a carrying case, which is sized for the Switch OLED specifically, but will work fine on a regular one as well. There's just a little bit of extra room on the sides because the OLED is wider than a regular Switch. Those, however, did not launch side by side with the system. Those are coming out alongside the game on May 12th. Overall, I gotta say that, as has been kind of the case with Nintendo, I think this is another solid execution. They've just kind of been building up more and more with each release, and while there are still some specific things about it that I just wish went a little farther, again, I wish they would just play with more colors on the main body. I get it, it's probably easier to just still have the main manufacturing line and just do something with the back of it, but even compared with what they did with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, where you got that hints of the purple and orange, even though it's Scarlet, which isn't orange. The point is that you still got a little color playing on there, and I wish there was something like that going on here, but the Joy-Cons and the dock easily balance that out. This is a beautiful looking system, both in handheld mode with the Joy-Cons on the body and the dock itself just really flexing that Hylian symbol in gold on the white. So there you have it, an unboxing of the Tears of the Kingdom limited edition system, just with some thoughts going on with it as well. As always, if you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up button to let me know, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you guys later.